Welcome to the historic endurance rallying organization's 7th qualifying round of the 2015 Hero Cup in association with EFG International. It's the grueling Rally of the Tests. There are 8 qualifying events in all, taking competitors through the UK and Europe on some of the toughest roads and offering the most beautiful locations. This is the 5th year that the Hero Cup has been awarded to Premier membership drivers, and the first prize is a week's Mediterranean voyage on the 85-foot, fully crewed luxury schooner, the Oriander. The contender standings right now look like this. At the top we have Paul Crosby, the current holder of the Cup. His position looks reasonably safe, but with 2 events left to go, including the Rally of the Tests, nothing is set in stone. In second we have Stephen Owens. In third, Steve Robertson. And fourth, it's Daniel Gresley. But what we want to know is, can Owens reduce Crosby's lead during this hugely challenging event?
Yeah, I think it's going to be down to the wire.
Who's your closest rival?
Stephen Owens in another Porsche 911. So we'll have to see how Stephen gets on this one, because he's doing the jog as well. So yeah, I hope it is close. It makes it a bit more exciting when there's something to play for in the last round.
It's nice to be in second place. This time last year I was in first place, Paul was in second place. This year Paul's in first place and I'm in second place. But I have to say he's a better driver than me. Not just a much better driver than me. So if he wins it again, you know, I won't be upset about that. But it would be nice to challenge him and take him right to the ribbon at the end of the day.
The ceremonial start of the event is being held at Slaley Hall, a beautiful Edwardian mansion set in 1,000 acres of Northumberland countryside. The location is 25 miles west of Newcastle on the northern edges of the Pennines. Right now we're seeing a lot of mist and drizzle, but if you know anything about historic car rallies, then you'll know it's the place to be if you want to see some of the finest cars and most skilled competitors. The 2015 Rally of the Tests carries on the tradition of the RAC rallies first held 83 years ago in 1932. It maintains its reputation for being tough and competitive, and the event attracts crews from across Europe. The Rally of the Tests is held in October, and that usually means that the weather offers an additional set of challenges for competitors. This year, heavy rain is forecast for the whole weekend. The roads will be wet and covered in leaves, making surfaces very slippery. These pristine vehicles will have a very different look in the coming hours.
Well, basically safety once again. Everything goes through a safety check: lights, brakes, steering, seat mountings, seat belt mountings. Foot brake. Eligibility, make sure they've got the right bits, and the right bits should be where they should be. Electronics as well, electronic ignition not out of period. All the interior fittings, seats, interior trim, carpets have all got to be fitted as well.
This is a Jaguar 1958 XK150. Well, I've had it for 14 years, and this is the 12th Rally of the Tests it's taken part in. Looking for a better run this year. Last year we broke the half shaft at the end of the first day, so home on the tow road. So better luck this year, I hope.
we're driving with a beautiful Porsche 365, and this is my first time actually driving with this car, so I'm quite curious what it's all about. And it's my first time actually for this event. In the Netherlands we have a couple of rallies with a different setting, so to say, and that's more for the navigator, I think, a challenge than for the driver. But this will be a challenge for both.
We passed, yes. Why not? We know their game. So that's the reason why we always take care that the car should be in the regulations are mentioned. So that's it.
Hello John, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks, yes.
What are you driving this time?
We're in the Alpha Sprint this time. Hopefully it'll run a bit better than last year. We had a bit of a problem with the carburetors last time.
So you're looking forward to it?
Yeah, very much so, yeah. It'd be nice if the fog disappears, but we'll see what we get.
Idea what we're doing.
We're at an early stage, I'd say.
Yes, it's a work in progress.
Well, this is the third time I've been on this event. The first time wasn't too successful. Last year we had a great event, absolutely stunning event. It's the biggest stretch I've had as far as rallying is concerned. It's a rally that just throws everything at you. It's got nighttime driving, it's got stage driving, it's got timed driving, it's got everything. It's just a fantastic rally, and to me I think it's the biggest test of my capability. The car is wonderful. It's been through 3 events now and it's good to go, and I'm really pleased with it. Well, I've had the car about 18 months, but it took 12 months to get it to where we wanted it to be, and the last 6 months has been about testing, putting it through rallies and getting it rallied. We've got the Le Jog coming up, which is to me the challenge of all challenges, and then we've got the winter trial, the winter challenge trial, which again is a different type of event to Monte Carlo, and really it's about preparing the car for that. So it's nice, staged, well worked, and the people that have been backing it up for me have been absolutely superb. A great car. I'm really pleased with it.
It's a tough event. It looks much tougher with all the map plotting this week, and the hours I've spent worrying about it and losing sleep nearly, and keeping out the bar mainly. It's going to be an exciting event, and I pity novices. I'm worried, and I'm supposed to be quite good at this. There is so much in the way of paperwork. You need a book of speed tables, tests, a road book. You need 20-odd ordnance survey maps, little notes. You've got to decipher the Shakespeare in English for the speed changes and find those. There's just so much to think about in a short space of time, and it's always route first, every time route first, and worry about the speed later. It's a 62 Sunbeam Rapier owned by Michael Moss. We recently did the marathon and we did quite well on that.
Well, I was here because I've been asked to sit alongside Paolo Macchietti, who's competing for the FIA Regularity Trophy. He is just 1 point behind his main competitor, and really it's between him and Christian Crucifix as to who wins. Whoever beats each other on this event is the champion for this year. I had a call via the usual, contacts. Someone knows someone who knows someone, and Paolo gave me a call, and we met for the first time a couple of days ago. Right, well, it's an Alfa Romeo Giulietta Spider. First time I've been in an Alfa Romeo, full stop. It seems to go quite well. It's only 1300 cc's, but has a lot of pizzazz about it.
It is quite nice that it's quite familiar ground and familiar tests as well, and as usual, nobody knows what to expect. Will all hopefully become clear over the next couple of hours and next couple of days. We're in a pretty unique rally car. There was one rallied a while ago, and there was one did the RAC in the 70s, Andy. It's a Rapier H120. We did the event in it 2 years ago with a standard engine and did quite well. Set some fastest overall test times despite being standard, and since then it's had a new engine built, so hopefully quite a lot more power.
So Lancia B20 Coupe. It's got a 2.5 litre V6 engine, 1954. So it's 61 years old, about the same age as me. It did the the Panamericana when Fangio did it in the same car, not this particular one, but a sister car in 1954.
It's 17:30 and it's the start of the Prologue. Over to the start line now. 79 cars will be crossing the line this weekend. We're looking at Bill Ainscough and Jason Dearden's stunning 1954 Lancia Aurelia being flagged away by event director Jeremy Dixon. Let's see the route they'll be taking. Starting with a test in the grounds of Slaley Hall, crews will head north towards Dipton Wood and then west over to Hamburn Hall. From there they circle south, passing through the Slaley Forest. Over the course of the rally, crews will be using jogularity-style navigation to ease the crews into the event, with a number of challenging fords and tight hairpin junctions to keep concentration levels high. Crews will need to keep their wits about them for the 3 timing points sited within Slaley Forest. An extremely tight hairpin left junction has created a maneuver which crews now know as the Slaley Shuffle. Stay tuned to see the results.
How was that?
Not good. Not good.
18:39.00. How's it going, Tony?
They give us an early time there. They give us 5 seconds early. Thank you. All right. See you later.
It's a great little starter, is that? It got the adrenaline flowing. Nice little test to start off with. Some very good regularities. Very slippy when we got into the forest sections, doing the regularity in there. But great little start. Just ready for a pint in the bar now, though.
It was very slippy, so just took it steady to make sure we got through correctly. Yeah.
Slippy, but very enjoyable. I think the forest, I think it's found a few people out in the sense that it was a bit more slippy than what we expected, but good fun.
But no, I think a good evening's work by both the crew, I hope.
Speak for yourself.
Yep, very pleased, had a good run. Got some zeros and that bit of fog, so it made it interesting. Then we went into the forest and unfortunately the trip went. So Lee didn't realise straight away it was frozen, so fortunately we have another one, so we switched it over. And then when we got to the end, it cost us 7 seconds. So we're not so bad.
So the leaderboard after the prologue looks like this. Warren and Tully are the overnight leaders, picking up only 8 seconds on the regs and 2 on the tests. They're tailed closely by Lenihan and McCollum in their Mini Cooper. In third, we have Lane and Fowle in their 1967 Volvo 131. In fourth, there's Fennell and Savage in their 1964 Alpha. And in fifth, we have Hancocks and Lamley in a 1962 Triumph TR4. Leg 1. An early start today. It's 7:30 as the crews prepare for an incredibly arduous and long day ahead, filled with 9 tests and 6 regularities.
Yeah, it was good. We had a good run last night, so we're first on the road this morning. But long way to go. Big day today, long day today. So it's Porsche 356, 1963. It's a 1720cc. Bought the car about 5 years ago, and Matthew and my son did one rally in it in 2010, which was Throckmorton. And we had a differential problem on that. So after that, we decided to restore the car. Needed a lot of body work doing to it, so we set about doing that in 2010 and sort of finished it last year. Chaz used it on Tour of Cheshire this year as sort of a shakedown, and Throckmorton for me a few weeks ago was another little shakedown for me. I hadn't driven it, getting ready for this event, but yeah, so far so good. It's very different from the 911, but I'm enjoying it, so it's good.
Second, should be first really, but Howard got lucky, didn't he?
Alright, we're lying about, I think we're starting 7th today, so it was a good evening. Yeah, it was great, we enjoyed it.
It was good actually, yeah, good fun. Not too tricky, hopefully. We did okay. Just one tricky slot left into the forest, so you did a bit of jiggling, but other than that, yeah, it was okay. But it's a long day today, and it could all change.
The crews are getting ready to head out. Their route looks like this. Heading out of Slaley Hall, crews head north for Corbridge, Walk Common and Kielder Water. Then it's into the Scottish borders, passing through Hoyk and Selkirk for lunch. The afternoon section will see them head through Etterick, Eskdale Muir Forest, Johnston Bridge, Drumlanrig Castle, Moniere, Castle Douglas and Dundrennan. The night section will see them head over to Dumfries for the overnight halt. Here are the highlights of this morning's road sections. Both drivers and navigators are having to focus precisely on the navigational instructions and ever-changing speed requirements, as they're coming thick and fast, not to mention having to contend with worsening road conditions. Today, crews will be in their cars for 15 hours and cover some 277 miles of beautiful yet remote road sections. Easier to demonstrate your skills level at the start of the day, and these crews are highly skilled, but by this evening, fatigue will be creeping in, and that'll start to affect concentration, making it that much easier to make mistakes which could cost placings. We're at Kielder Water now, and just about to head into 3 back-to-back tests at the infamous Kielder Forest. Conditions are poor, and the forest tracks are incredibly slippery after the recent rain. These are very quick sections to allow the drivers to really stretch their legs. Road action now as the rally heads into the Scottish borders towards Selkirk. The next set of regularities have given crews some major difficulties. Thanks to the local topography and plenty of autumn leaves around the Hoyk area, marshals have been offered a natural camouflage at some of the timing points. In fact, only 10 crews have escaped large penalties.
Balked on that last one, but other than that, yeah, it's not too bad, so we shall see. A little bit of a mistake in that last one, so
not too good?
Yeah, we're doing okay, but we just made a bit of a mess for the last regularity. Clever little control. Meant to be a farm gate sign on the right, and it was on the left. So everyone went straight on. Everyone was doing the same thing, but could be a maximum of that control. So doing okay apart from that. The tests early on were great fun.
The road went straight, but the main road went left. And the white lines which showed the main road was going left were obscured with just lots and lots of leaves on it. So there was a great convoy of us searching in the back streets of Hoyk.
Typical rally of the test, really, isn't it?
Could do without the weather. Right, here we go. Ready? That should be it.
Here are highlights of this afternoon's action.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The next regularity recreates the RAC stage rally experience of the 1960s.
Problem is in the steering. It's not steering as it should, so we don't know what's wrong.
Afternoon tea is served at the stunning Drumlanrig Castle.
We were 10th last night and 3rd in the class, and we're actually lying 8th overall at this point in time and leading the class. But it's early days and there's a long way to go yet. We car has done 9 rally of the tests, and we've finished them all bar 1, and we've always got some award in the class, but this is the first time we've been leading the class.
Meanwhile, Peter Jan Smit and Gert van der Velde have filled their Datsun 240Z with diesel in error.
On camera, I did it. So that was the wrong fuel. So we lost 2 hours, but we're back in business again.
Abus and Bender in their Porsche 356 had a scary moment earlier today. The fuel line inside came apart due to a faulty clip, depositing petrol in the footwell.
We stopped during the regularity, unfortunately, and there was fuel everywhere, so we had to connect it again. Fortunately, there was a service crew behind us, and they helped us, but it cost us the regularity. But we're happy that we can go on again.
Much better than last night. We had a good morning and afternoon went well, but now we got I think a stiff night ahead of us.
The age of the cars and the inclement weather have ensured that the Hero Assist crews are kept busy keeping the vehicles on the road.
What's going on here then? The shock absorber came off the second time, so been running on without a shock absorber for about, I don't know, 30 odd miles.
Yeah, windscreen wiper motor's burnt out, so we're going for the manual fix.
Good tonight, really enjoyed that last one. Had an overshoot onto one of the slot lefts, but we made it up, we made our minute.
And as darkness draws nearer, the already exhausted crews head out for the final 50-mile evening stretch. As we arrive at the overnight halt of Dumfries, let's check on the leaderboard. In the top spot, we have Lane and Fowle with a very impressive day's performance. In second, we have Warren and Tully, 35 seconds behind in their restored 356. In third, there's Wilson and Folks in another Porsche 356C. The fourth is Morgan and Taylor, and in fifth, we have Graves and Palmer. Leg 2, Saturday, 7th of November. During what has turned into a dramatic night section, it seems that Crosby and Pullen in their 1970 Porsche 911 have had an unanticipated off-road excursion involving some mud and a shallow stream. Starting in Dumfries, crews head east, taking in some of the most dramatic landscapes that the UK has to offer. Their route passes through Canonby, the Kershope Forest, Langley Castle, Stanhope, Brough, Swaledale and Richmond, before an overnight halt at the Redworth Hall Hotel. Another damp and dismal morning on this leg 2 of the 2015 Rally of the Tests. It would appear that the morning's regularities have impacted on the leaderboard once again. Lane and Fowle have really struggled with electrical problems and some tricky navigation. Looks like this will have handed the lead back to Warren and Tully. Navigator Matt Vokes had a much better performance, bringing the crew back into the running. Christian Crucifix has struggled this morning, which may mean that he's handed the FIA Historic Regularity Championship to his rival, Paolo Marcatelli.
First of all, I'm enjoying this competition so much, you can't believe it. First time I do it, I find it really exciting. Big battle, still ongoing. We will see. We are doing our best.
Eyre, Maunsell and Scott are recovering after fan belt problems. It's great to see their escort drawing so many admiring glances from the public. Abel and Durden have had a great day so far, unlike Nachtgeboren and Dane Hartog, who've dropped a minute in penalties, after looking like they were about to rise to 5th overall. Here's highlights of this afternoon's road sections. Warren and Tully have had some problems with the rear of their Porsche 356. Right now they'll be concerned with holding on to their lead. Crosby and Pullen aren't having much luck. Their Porsche 911 has a snapped steering arm. Tense day for the two crews contesting the FIA Historic Regularity Championship. A grueling night for Crucifix and Lambert saw them drop 2 minutes and 4 seconds behind Marcatelli and Brooks. On a rally like the Rally of the Tests, a 2-minute advantage can mean nothing when the trials are as complex as this and the crews are as tired as they are. It's still all to play for. Howard Warren and Ian Tully have retaken the top spot in their Porsche 356C after a superb performance today. It puts them in pole position for tomorrow, with a lie-in due to reverse seeding being applied. Wilson and Vokes posted the second best performance of the day, and in third place are Lane and Fowle, who were able to claw back some of the ground they lost this morning. Standout performances of the day have included Kleindert and Harrison, Abus and Bender, and Pickering and Ballantyne. Leg 3, Sunday, 8th of November.
An early start today because we've got so many penalties from the last 2 days. So we're starting, I think we're at car 4 or 3 or something like that on the road today. So yeah, just doing it for fun, nothing really at stake apart from a bit of pride, and we'll see how the last day goes. Yeah, we were leading and now we're almost last, so we've gone from hero to zero in the last couple of days.
It's the final leg of the 2015 Rally of the Tests, a relatively short trip today after the epic routes of the last 2 days. This is the route the crews will be taking. A short run from Redworth Hall to Staindrop, Newsham, Leyburn, Jarvo, Pateley Bridge, Whitewell and Scorton, before heading over the ceremonial finish line in Blackpool. Let's check in with the crews on the final morning. Here are highlights of the morning's action. The final results are now in, and I can tell you that the crew winning the 2015 Rally of the Tests is Howard Warren and Ian Tully. In second overall, we have Neil Wilson and Matthew Vokes. In third, there's David Morgan and Martin Taylor. In fourth, Paul Wignall and Ali Proctor. And in fifth, Andy Lane and Matt Fowle. Over to Blackpool now for the finish.
Well, we just managed to hold on at the end. You can hear the cars, sounds a little bit poorly, but we just wheeled it in this afternoon, and well, we're here, so we made it, so I'm delighted. Fantastic rally, great organisation. Obviously Ian was magic, because you need a magic navigator to win this type of event. Difficult event, but brilliant as always.
Challenging, just really pleased to be here, really pleased to get the win. We had a mistake early on this time, Friday morning, sort of thought that might have cost us the event, but fortunately with no mistakes since then. Howard's driven superbly, the car's been just great, we put it through some real pain, considering what an old car it is. The 356 is quite different from the 911, but he's really enjoyed driving it, driven it very well on the tests, and it's just been great. You can hear it's a bit louder now than it was at the start. We think we'll go and park it over there, it might just collapse in a heap, but it's been great. It's got us to where we needed to be, done the job, been brilliant.
Presenting the award this evening is the competition director, Guy Woodcock.
And this gentleman informed me this evening that it's actually 30 years, almost to the weekend, that he actually won as a navigator the RAC Rally. So he's been around a bit. But it's his third time he's finished second overall in this event, so he's not quite got there yet on this one. But second goes to Neil Wilson and Matthew Vokes. So your winners, ladies and gentlemen, of the 14th Rally of the Tests goes to Howard Warren and Ian Tully.
In the UK, we have a quality organisation who puts together 6, 7, 8 events a year, joined together a few years ago and brings probably the best in classic rallying that we could have anywhere in Europe, probably, or even in the world. And from all the competitors, I would like to say a huge thank you to that organisation for continuing to put on, year after year, events that test us, make us moan. Every night I come in and Jenny's going and she goes, "What's wrong now?" And I go, "I'm too old for this, I'm doing all this." But at the end of the day, I think we should have a huge round of applause just for, as I said, and everybody else has been thanking before, for the whole organisation. Thank you to everybody.
A check of the Hero Cup results at close of play shows that there is significant change. Stephen Owen has reduced Paul Crosby's lead to just 1 second. This means that the final event, the king of them all, the 2015 Land's End to John O'Groats Reliability Trial, Europe's most challenging historic rally, will have another exciting story thread to follow.
Well, it started quite well. We had a few good tests. Quite pleased with that. Reg 3-1, we hit a rock, unfortunately. A rock? Yeah, it was a rock. With the right front wheel, and well, he may have done. It may have been sabotage.
I found in my tyre tonight a bullet.
It looked really difficult to start with, and it proved to be so during it as well.
We're going to play it like the tortoise in the hare. That's what we're going to do. We are going to get up the field, so we're going to get it fixed and we'll be there.
How we doing then, Gary?
All right.
Good.
How are you doing?
Very well. What are you doing down this dark lane at this time of night?
I'm hoping to pick up somebody.
Oh yeah? There's a man stood right behind you.
I think we're far better in the dark. Much more fun.
Well, okay, apart from the mistakes and the errors and the cock-ups and such like. Otherwise, it'll be fine.
Yeah, please come back again next year.
Thanks to everyone involved in the Rally of the Tests 2015. The competitors, the sponsors, the marshals, the officials, the organisers, the competition director Guy Woodcock, and of course the welcoming fans across the route, and the fabulous staff at each of the halts. Hope to see you soon for the fantastic Le Jog 2015.